Welcome, my friends. This is Maniacal Incorporated, and you join me as we return to An Blascaod Nua, our settlement in the Caribbean, where the inhabitants of the Blasket Islands have emigrated after the evacuation of their community. We're entering the 1970s, a period of great economic opportunity for the people of the island. A lot of the initiatives that Charles J. Haughey has instituted over the previous 2 decades are hopefully going to come to fruition. We're going to see massive expansion, and the young people of the island can look forward to a great deal of opportunity. But no doubt some of them feel a bit angry at what the island's recent economic expansion has brought for them and their families, such as Enrique O'Shea. We can see that he was 19 years of age, which means that he would have been one of the first children born on the island after the arrival of the original settlers. And his father, Bartholomew, would have told him of the difficult life that they had on the Blasket Islands and what the evacuation was like. And he has probably been quite emotional of recent, because the family is now in the depths of a second evacuation. Since his arrival on the island, Bartholomew would have worked at the dock at Dunquin, and he would have dreamed of getting a job for his son Enrique there, which he eventually did secure for him, and the two of them worked there for a very short period of time before the dock was closed down and destroyed, replaced with a dock on the south east of the island, near the new industrial heartland, which Charles J. Haughey has been building over the last 2 decades. So both Enrique and Bartholomew have had to follow in the same general direction. Bartholomew has ended up working as a fisherman at one of the new wharves on the southeast of the island, and Enrique is going to work in a construction office at the GPO, a city built in honour of the Irish Rebellion in 1916. A city of aspiration, a city of ambition, a city largely full of shacks and dust at the moment, as it is main employment is a mine which hasn't generated any money. However, it is all part of Charles J. Haughey's thrust eastward towards the fabled mountain range. I think it'd be fair to say it's going to be known to the people as Patrick, which is said to contain unlimited gold. Gold which Haughey can use to remain in power, gold which Haughey can use to drive the economy, but most importantly, to fluff out his own Swiss bank account. So there is the life of another one of our citizens. We can see there is Dunquin Pier, and indeed Dunquin itself has now disappeared, lost to time and history. So we might move Dunquin, we might rename somewhere else Dunquin. If we look here, oh no, it's actually down here that Bartholomew has moved, so he doesn't have too much of a distance. But his son Enrique, there he is, he's after moving all the way over to the GPO. He's after getting himself a new house, I think up in this direction, I imagine. He's heading in this direction anyway. So we'll see what
have passed since you took office, my presidente. You have already outlasted all your predecessors.
Omara, I am so terribly sorry, cutting across you. We'll see what Enrique's new life on the other side of the island is going to be like. Now we're up in Uncromore. Got some houses being built. We will put in a marketplace. We better start putting in a few marketplaces. I think we could put in marketplace there. And we should start maybe to look at how food is doing for our people. Okay, that's good. That's good. Looks good. And as part of Haughey's great aspirations, what we will do is put down. Let's actually pause. Let's think about this. Let's think about this like rational people. If this road is going to extend out in this direction, it might be best to put it here instead. We get the road going out to it. I don't think we're going to have a lot out in this direction, but look at that. If Haughey can get his hands on that, imagine what he could do with it. We also have our embassy fully staffed. This place is no longer... The people who worked here didn't love it, so they left it. I think we're actually getting some priests hired, which is good. Should be getting some police hired, which is good. We're probably going to need to put a prison down at some stage as well. What would we need a prison for? Housing quality is coming up, religion quality is coming up, healthcare is staying stable, entertainment is staying stable. So what's after dropping? Living environment is always bad. Nothing dropped. Nothing dropped. So the USA is very, very happy with us. They'd rather that we took a more pro-USA stance, and we very well might. We very well might soon enough. Cigars had a great year. And we have exported our first supply of bauxite from the GPO. And our score is picking up. Look at this, the 70s are looking great already. The 70s are looking fantastic already. I have a lot of aims and goals for the 70s. It's entirely possible that I'm going to be doing a little more than housing. Says the man who immediately institutes a special building permit. Will we? No, we have a lot of industrial growth to do here, so we won't go messing around. We will put that in and immediately wipe out everything. I think I might just let these houses finish off. We won't. We'll wait until they get that building built. I might actually... get them to focus on these houses. And it's also becoming clear. So we have a good stock of stuff there, a good stock of stuff there. Okay, we don't have a good stock of stuff there. In output terms, there, we've stuff there, we've stuff there, we've stuff. We don't have anything there. I was going to say it's becoming clear. I'd say we'd need a Teamster's place up here. Slap bang in the middle of the coffee farm. So way up on Crow Moor, we're going to be building a new city, basically. The highest point on the island. So a lot of the people who are working here, maybe in this banana grove, and who are working in these coffee plantations, are gonna take to working here. This place still has never generated any money. Look at the amount of output that's there. Nowhere to go. Of course, we're going to need to provide housing out in this direction. We're losing money hand over fist because I wasn't watching. So again, now the capitalists want... Was the communists who want better housing. Sorry, I thought the capitalists wanted fancier housing. I was wrong. So as long as the buildings, the houses can keep generating just a profit, just to break even, the way we're not losing money on them. Get them to prioritize the buildings as well. And here we go. Due to the continuing decline in Tropico's financial situation, the World Bank has imposed restrictions on its financing of Tropico's debt. So if we had generals now, we'd be in a bit of bother, because they wouldn't be happy. And that's one of the reasons that we need a prison. If there's a military coup, and the rebels are winning, the traitors are winning, the only thing we can do is hope that we have enough police officers to arrest them. So I would say, before we start doing much more, we're going to need to try and get a prison down. Everyone is happy with us because of that that diplomatic ministry. We're getting 5,000 a year just from keeping those lads happy. So that's fantastic. Other stuff has come down. I can see there's somebody up here working on this tenement, so that's going to be a great addition. The World Bank recognizes that we've sorted ourselves out. We've copped onto ourselves. So they do, they just shoot across here. But we've just gotten ourselves out of... And now we have a ton of money. Should look at that for money. Look at that for money. We're going to kind of watch. There was a person there walking around and they kind of walked. They came down this way and up. So I'm going to try and do something similar. So they wanted general. Those devils wanted general. I was going to say we wouldn't be so lucky. We are! Look at that. Fantastic. Okay, things aren't going too shabby. Things aren't going too shabby, I don't think. Okay, maybe things aren't great for the people over here. Maybe things aren't great for them. Can't really do... I won't say we can't do much. We have all these nice houses, and then right around the corner we're going to have a tenement. Another, I think it's a record year. A record year for the economy. Powered mainly by coffee, which is closely catching up on tobacco as our all-time top export. This is the great thing. You can build through... You can build through shacks if you... Or you can build roads through them if you just kind of go one road at a time. One road at a time, sweet Jesus. So a lot of the shacks have been destroyed over here by the placement of this tenement, which is fantastic. I wonder where has poor old Enrique gone to. I don't think he's working here anymore. It's entirely possible he's emigrated. There's Bartholomew O'Shea. And there is his son, Enrique. He's moved back home. That's nice. That's nice. So he's moved closer to home. He's closer to his father. Closer to where he came from. And back to what's left of Dunquin, and possibly one of his first jobs is actually going to be helping with cleaning up what remains of the dock that he and his father worked on. Pineapple products have increased by 10%. I think they fell by 10% beforehand. Where has he gone to, actually? There's Enrique O'Shea. And he is married to Hope O'Shea. And they have a Baba Zimina O'Shea. Do I see some work going on the farm? We do. Happiness has gone up. Housing quality has improved dramatically. Like I said, I'd say we're approaching an election in the next year or two, so we want to keep things going well. Look at the $7,000 coming in from the boys out foreign. Another great year for exports, a very strong year economically. The score is just going up like mad. Now our only problem is we've too many problems. We've so many problems I can't even think what our main problem is. I'm going to institute, am I? No, I'm not. I'm gonna wander around like crazy. I think we could probably get that there. And might be able to shove this here. So there you go. We'll actually put that up to the top to protect El Presidente from his own army. As always, I've managed to put a farm right through an important agricultural area.
I believe some of your people may be calling for an election next year.
Oh, god damn it. I don't think we should be too bad. We might very well hold off on any other major expansions until then. Fantastic, that prison is up and running. Now, of course, because it's using convict labor, we could start arresting people to generate revenue.
The Treasury is doing well.
The Treasury is doing fantastic. Absolutely tremendous economic expansion. I am a bit disappointed that we're not getting these places built fast enough. Here we have a marketplace with an output store of 7.1. So what's happening is that our Teamsters are now bringing food here. So these people, they're lacking entertainment. And do you know what would be great entertainment for them? A cabaret. Which I can't put there because I'm actually trying to put it inside a mine. 45 happiness is happiness that we haven't seen in a very long time. Another great year for exports. And again, cigars powering through. So cigars, coffee and tobacco, we've exported close to 150,000 between tobacco and cigars. So the economy is driving on under Charlie Haughey. Start to push in this direction. There you go, a cabaret in the GPO. What would Patrick Pearce think of that? It'll take a while before that's actually built. I'm hoping that they'll get this built first of all. It'll probably take a while. Okay. Many of your people are complaining that there has not been free elections since 1969. If we don't hold elections, we risk public backlash, etc., etc., etc. at the moment. if an election was held tomorrow morning, we would lose by 17 votes. We will of course allow the election. I'm just trying to think what we can do. There's a couple of things we can do. We will hold the elections. Enrique Encarnacion has announced that he will run against you. Okay, let's come to our almanac. Income disparity, I believe, is what we're looking for. The average Caribbean pay is 11. I think we're going to have to engage in a major pay increase across the island to guarantee our election. That'll be $2 for everyone, and then $1 for the high school educated. And I think for those guys, we can leave it as it is at the moment. But that's one of our first moves. Do you know what? We will wait for a couple of months before declaring a Mardi Gras. We could also institute a tax cut, which is, I think, is it $100? How is it described? $100 to every adult resident. Would it cost $35,000? We will say, never mind, for now. Of course, shortly we're going to receive the news of Eamon de Valera's passing. Eamon de Valera died in 1975, so surely Haughey will be moved by that. So moved that he will hold a Mardi Gras. We will institute Social Security.
It will be done.
Okay, we will hold off on that. We will hold off on that Mardi Gras until we're a bit closer. So I think it's March of '76 is what we're looking at. So late in the year, just to guarantee that it takes effect. And of course, if they could get this thing built, it would be fantastic as well. What are they doing? If they got that built, it would be fantastic. It does take a while before the housing benefit kicks in. We're into June. Do you know what? Now would be the time to be having a Mardi Gras, when the weather's good.
As you wish.
Issue that edict. And while I was going to say, while we have the money, do we have anything going off the island? We have. God damn it, for 3 votes. $36,000 for 3 votes.
Consider it done, my president.
This is the type of reckless spending that Haughey would have engaged in, and that a number of people would have engaged in.
Our treasury is empty, and
reckless,
our debt grows day by day.
Reckless, unsustainable spending to guarantee re-elections. I hope it will guarantee a re-election now. In the end up, we could have probably done without that Mardi Gras. Okay, we've gotten ourselves back on track. We have a lot of expenses now. So we're going to have to do a number of different things. We're going to hold off from engaging in any major spending for a while. Happiness has never been as high as it is. Housing quality, entertainment shot up. Crime safety is doing well. Liberty, overall respect amongst the various factions. Brought in 7,000 in foreign aid. It wasn't as good a year as we would have liked for the economy, but unsustainable pay increases, especially considering that very few of our high school educated are actually generating any revenue. So if 55, I think we should be A-okay. I think. I hope. Yeah, we're okay, we're okay. Haughey sees off another challenge. 79 to 64. And we are free until about 1982. So this is how a lot of people maintained power in Ireland throughout the 1970s and 80s. We're getting complaints about college education. Now we do need to probably prop up the economy a bit more before we start going overboard on college education. My god, this one building has taken just decades to actually get it built. I think we've seen a chunk of stuff built on this episode, I think. So it still actually hasn't been built until it fits into place. There you go. Looking around, I'd say we'll prioritize that if they can just get it built anyway. Oh, look at this for finished goods. Look at this for finished goods. I would be hoping for a big jump in our treasury. That might very well provide us with an opportunity to begin investing in third level education. Happiness has remained high. I do want to check food quality. Okay, everything is looking okay. We're at the halfway point. There's 23 years remaining.
The treasury is doing well.
You know what? It's not doing too bad. It's not doing too bad. Could be better, could be worse, is the man. So many workers. I'm just trying to figure out where the hell they all are. What the hell they're all doing. So of course, look at the amount of work that had to be done to sink this thing down to get it built. So the people working on it are exhausted. Who the hell made this island so elevated? A new Teamster office has been built, so way up on Uncrow Moor. We actually still have some room for people to move in. For this poor dude. Hauling food all the ways up here. There's a couple of pictures of how steep the Blaskets were, and just roads winding up, and houses thrown along by these tiny pathways. You wouldn't really even call them roads. I don't think you could have taken a donkey and cart down safely. So this is very much like what it would have been like on the Blaskets. Happiness has remained at 50 for I think this is the third year in a row. Yeah, that's awesome. Again, I am keeping an eye on food quality. Everyone is very happy. Cigars are powering ahead. But we are just in a spot of bother in terms of just getting things built. Now, I do have an unmerciful amount of workers, but for a variety of different reasons, stuff isn't getting built. I've got to prioritize this. We will stick back on our special building permit.
Right away, Excellency.
When we have so much money. Start siphoning some of it off into the account. We'll put the college down here. We'll build it on this point. We won't. there. That there. Because hopefully a day will come when we can put that there. Who knows though? Who knows? Who knows? So the economy is powering on, but we are definitely getting caught a bit with building. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. This in there anywhere? I don't think we're bad for housing there. I don't think we'd be bad for housing there once we get that in. Sure. Where are they going? They're going home. I will drop the... I'll drop that as well. If they'd build this, or if they'd build this. I was hoping to have this built by now. I'm disappointed with that. Disappointed with that. Great economic growth. Great economic expansion. We're almost up to 10,000 in our Swiss bank account, but there's a lot of stuff that we have not gotten built at all. At all. And of course we have an election coming up relatively shortly enough. We're going to need to get some more money together just in case we need to buy that election as well. So again, how's the church doing? It's not too bad. We might look to building another church up here. We'll have to get a medical center over in this direction. I'm almost certain that people are kind of having most of their needs met. So happiness would have collapsed because of the Mardi Gras ending. God, that was a big party they had for De Valera's death. Crime safety has gone up. Living environment has maybe dropped a bit. Score has plummeted, I think, from the happiness. Economy. Dropped. Okay, we only exported a tiny chunk of pineapple. And our food quality, because we're not building a lot of farms, yet the population is going up. Not building a lot of anything. We still haven't gotten that thing built. My God, this thing is still being built. That's... Would it be right to say I built that in a very bad place? That one single house might cripple all economic advancement on this island. Right, as we're coming towards the end of the 1970s, do you know what it was? It was supposed to be a much different decade. It wasn't a bad decade, to say the very least. It was not a bad decade at all. Massive, massive, massive building expansions. Great jump in the economy. We have Tomos and Egberto O'Crihan. I think I checked this already, didn't I? They're brothers, I believe. They're indeed. And so Estella O'Crihan, married. Ricardo O'Shea. Let's just see. Older is that Enrique's brother. So there you go. There's an alliance between two of the great houses, the original settlers, the OG settlers, the O'Crihans and the O'Sheas. I'm trying to see what we can do. Here is our fountain. or our economy, or our environment. I don't think trees help. We'll throw a few down. Palm trees. Irish palm trees. Oh, stick one. Let's see, maybe we can put down a nice little decoration. I never really did stuff like this. I don't know if it's going into my... It is, it's going into my Swiss bank account. There you go. I should have been doing this more often. So that nice little region there. Nice. In inverted commas. So we need electricity for our mines. It'll be a good idea to get a college up and running. It'll be able to provide better quality housing as well. That requires electricity. That will generate more revenue, keep people happier. But it's a big expense. It's a big expense. I'm thinking, and it's hurting my head. I'm thinking of putting down enough roads to get over the 10k mark. I'm trying to see where we can connect up this road to. At the moment it's going nowhere, and I don't think we have anywhere we can take it to. I think it's just gonna come down the side of the mountain to about there. I'm not worried. I'm just a bit disappointed. And worried. That we have an election coming up in a couple of years. I don't know if anybody mentioned that. They have a bit of work done there. They have a bit of work. Can't say anything about that. I was under the impression I had a ton of pubs on the island. I have very few. We can... So, they will pay their monthly salary in entertainment and 1/3 of their monthly salary in housing. I don't know how they managed to do that, but they do. So we could bring it up to here. I think... I don't know if the... if having the prices lower keeps them happier, or makes them happier, I'm not really too sure. And we could very well... And that's a lot of expense, or not much of an immediate payoff. Where's it gone to? Where is it gone to? Actually, that's a great idea. If I do say so myself. I haven't even told you what the idea is, and I already think it's great. Perfect. What we'll do... Turn this thing around a small bit. It mightn't even go here now, but it will look great if it does. So there it is, building a church on the very peak of An Moor, which will look down over the inhabitants of An Blascaod Nua. I presume this is all An Blascaod Nua. The road might lead down to Inishvikalon eventually. The people over here aren't in great condition. Here would be a good place to build a tenement, but we can see the problems that we're having. Trying to actually get a tenement building down. You know what? Anything to keep you happy. Anything to keep you happy. Okay. The 70s were not the period of great expansion that we thought they'd be. for the sake of it, Haughey is going to build a bit of a road to nowhere. There we go, just a road to nowhere past his house, brings us up to 11,000. We will rescind that that building edict. That's 22,000 siphoned out of the economy and into Haughey's pockets. It would be a lovely island if all that was built. Let's see what gets done by the end of the year.
Presidente, I am glad to see that you are
Shush.
putting something away
Shush.
for yourself in Switzerland.
Shush! Don't be saying that. Don't be saying that. They'll hear you. Benoit van Gogh, or Benoit van Gogh, leader of the environmentalists. Oh god, oh dear. Don't even, no. And don't even let on that we know what he's talking about. Our cannery is coming up and running. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. That's about it. We'll max out that building next. Get some more housing down in the region. Hopefully they'll finish this thing before they go on to that. They did indeed. And already we're seeing people pouring in. I might actually open up all the education spots. So they'll hire some teachers. We're seeing people, okay, not exactly pouring in, but showing up. Educated to come and work in our cannery. And we're approaching the end of Haughey's third decade in power. It wasn't the economic leap forward that we had hoped. It wasn't the economic leap forward that we had hoped. I think the housing and the amount of effort that we put into maintaining power and holding on to power, I think that's been a major issue. This thing is a disaster. That's an absolute disaster. Like, lads, you can't put goats there. They'll fall off. Can you even get a road out to that thing now? So, this house has been, tenement has been an unmitigated disaster. I didn't think it was that steep. The GPO, at least all the shacks are gone. Well, most of them. There's one or two left. We're still setting economic foundations, but with 20 years to go, are they going to bear any fruit? I am very disappointed that we didn't get our jewellery farm, our jewellery plantation, or our gold plantation up and running. Food might prove to be a problem yet, who knows? Let's take a look at how things are standing at the end. 47 happiness, that's not too bad. Average worker pay is gone up to $10.72, so up from about $5 when the people arrived here. Threats to power are very low. I'd rather it said none. The income disparity, we're just behind the Caribbean average. We're just behind the Caribbean average. A pay increase or two will sort that out. So I'm happy with that. We're not doing too shabby. If we look at happiness, housing is meh, religion is infotainment, and all Mardi Gras, sort that out. Healthcare is dropping a bit, but once we get this college up and start training people, hopefully we'll be able to sort that out. Crime safety is doing well. Let's not talk about the environment. Everyone is happy with us. We're getting a ton of money off of the Russians and the USA, so we'll keep our scenario as it is. What I haven't checked before is, here's our number of citizens. It was growing, kind of leveling off a small bit. If we look at our immigration level, so last year we had 12. The year before, this year we had 12, then 2, and then 12. So you can see it has shot up since we installed that building, telling the unhappiest members of society to get out of it. There was a bit of a drop in immigration for a while. It's picking up a bit. If we look at deaths, the birth rate is higher. that's grand out. And then we have marriages. So again, just all the charts that this game gives you. Food quality. Okay, so we're making substantially more meals than we are eating. I think it would be a bit of a risk to double the food quantities for everyone. If we look at our economy, so food per farmer again has remained very stable. Food produced is kind of trending upwards. Eaten is trending upwards, but it's starting to level off. And acres planted stayed low during the early 70s and has risen again. Mining profits. Look at the number of miners, has remained stable with the last while. Okay. Not much of a change. There's been relative economic stagnation, I would argue, in the midst of a number of very successful years. And we have hit $500,000 in exports. And finally, if we look at our score, we rose up to a massive peak there. Well, I won't say a massive peak, but we dropped off when the Mardi Gras that had been declared in the aftermath of Eamon de Valera's death ended. And we're pulling our way back up. I don't think this is going to be as great a run as I had expected. With 20 years left to go, I won't say there isn't a huge lot that we can do, but the economic foundations that we have put in place since throughout the 1950s, they are now beginning to tell. Maybe we're a bit behind on coffee, maybe we got industrialized a bit late. We're beginning to see people are tiring a bit of Haughey's rule. Haughey wants to remain in power for at least another 20 years. And we've an election coming up, probably in the next year or two. So we're going to need to get some money together and possibly, again, try to bribe the population with a massive tax cut, which caused huge economic ramifications the last time. Damn these people to hell. Could they not just work harder and ask for less? Let's see what the 1980s bring, as well as some absolutely fantastic music and the advent of video games. What will the 1980s bring to An Blascaod Nua? And can Haughey retain power? I think we're going to see 2 elections in this decade coming up, so it's going to be a tough one. Can we get that gold mine up and running? As always, thank you for joining me on this episode. Check the description below for links to my Twitter account and to my Twitch account. Like the video to summon the YouTube algorithm. Ask it to holiday on An Blascaod Nua for a while. And subscribe if you haven't done so to be kept up to date with new episodes. Thank you for joining me on this one. And I will see you again on the next one.